Hello everyone, thank you so much for supporting us and welcome to Glenio channel. If you didn't subscribe our channel yet, please subscribe this channel to get the notification on useful video. In this video, you are going to learn about HTML form. So what is the objective of this video? We are going to learn HTML form and its usage, how to create a basic HTML form, know about tag and its attribute. So what is form first of all? Form is basically used to collect the informations from user. For example, the admission open form for school and college, the form to open a bank account and etc. Like this is the admission open form for school. After filling this form by a student, the school will know the informations about a student like first name, last name, date of birth, and here would be the locations of a student. So basically the form is collecting the information here. Similar way, in a web, HTML form is used to collect the informations from user. That informations might be personal information, query, feedback, suggestion and anything. Okay, for example, this is the form provided by Google. Google collects the below informations from user to create user's account. Some of these informations will be used at later to sign in the Google account. There is another form provided by Facebook which is used to collect the informations from user about Facebook features. Here user will enter the email address. Here will user select the topic they want to give the suggestions, and here would be the actual suggestion. After clicking on the send button, the Facebook will receive the user's feedback. So we are going to create this registration form in our video. So let's start by creating header. So first of all, create header tag. Inside the header there will be h2 tag, and here would be like registration form, and below the header tag there will be form tag. Form is the main tag. Form contains all the form controls. For example, this username field, this email field, password, this gender sections with radio button, this submit button, checkbox, all the form controls will be exist inside the form. So let's create username field here. So for that I mention label tag. Label tag is basically used to provide the captions for particular input element. Create a username. The caption would be for attribute. I'll discuss the usage of for attribute at later. For now it is username, and that input tag would be type equal to text, name equal to username, and ID equal to username. So as I said, this label is associated with this input element. Let's save this as a HTML file and run this in browser. So this is what look like in your web browser. Let's give some CSS to styling the form. For that, let's wrap the label tag inside the p tag. P tag basically creates the new line between input tag and label tag here. For styling the form, mention class here contact, and the class name would be like form here. Let's copy the CSS from here and paste between the style tag. Okay, so let's brief some CSS here. So this is the font family for body, this is text alignment for header, and this is background margin, padding, letter spacing for form class, which is like this form class. Okay, and we are giving font width, size and color for label and p tag. Here we are giving font size, margin, line height for p, which has a contact class. We are applying the width for input tag, which has a type text, type email, type password, and we are giving margin, border radius for input tag, and padding also here. And we are applying the width and height margin for select tag, and finally gender class has a margin left. So these are the few CSS for styling the form. So let's see this in browser. Look at here, it look like this now. So as I said earlier, label tag is associated with particular an input element. So what is input element? Input element is the element that appears as a form control on a browser to receive the user's input. For example, this input field is used to receive the username from user. Okay, input has a type attribute, which is really important attribute. Type basically defines the appearance and the behavior of the form control. For example, the type text means it would be represented as a one-line text field. This is one-line text field. Okay, there is another type as well, like type equal to password. This means when user would type here, the data would be hidden, so it behaves differently than username field. When we say type equal to radio, then it would be represented as a radio button, just like here, so user can choose options here. So this behaves and appearance as differently than password and username field. So let's know another attribute of input tag here. So this is name attribute. Name attribute is used to identify the particular input element. Okay, for example, after submitting the form, let's say we want some data at server side, let's say name, actual entered username, then we use this username is string at server side. For example, with PHP we do username. We using this value here to get the actual entered username on PHP at server side. Okay, we have another attribute ID here. As you can see here, the value of ID and for attribute are same here. This happens on purpose because whenever user click on this text, the input would be focused automatically. For example, let's see this in browser here. So if I click here, the input cursor would be focused automatically here. You don't need to click here explicitly. Okay, so let's create another sections, which is email. So in to create email sections, we use input tag with type email here. So let's change the for attributes value with email. Let's change the captions here to email, type is email here, and name email, ID email. So type emails means it receives only image, not other input. For example, if I type here Glenio, then the form will not be submitted because it doesn't match with the email pattern. But if we type something like that, then the form will be submitted because this match with the email pattern. So let's create another sections, password sections, that can be created by using input tag with type password. Just copy the code from here and paste here. So change the value of for attribute with password, change captions password, and this is type equal to password, name equal to password, and ID equal to password. Okay, so When we say type equal to password, that means the data would be hidden as user type the text. So let's copy the entire code here to make another password field, which is re-enter password field. So this is repassword, this is repassword, this is repass. Oh, I'm sorry, this is only password, this is repassword. So this compares with the first passwords. Okay, so second field basically ensures that the user will remember the password. It will increase the chances of user will remember the passwords. Rest of the things are similar here. Type equal to password, type equal to password. So let's see this in browser here and refresh the page here. Look at here, we have now two sections, password and re-enter password. So if I type something here, you have no idea what I'm typing here. Okay, so this happens because of type equal to password. Let's create another sections, which is drop down sections where user can select the country. For that we use select tag and options tag. So copy this thing for caption. So there is no input attribute in this section, so we don't need for attribute. So select a country. Now mention the select tag here, country. Select tag is used to create the list, and inside the list to create the options we use option tag. So value would be like USA. So as many options you want, mention that number of option tag inside the select tag. So let's create 5 options here to here. So it will be like India, India, Australia, Nepal, Canada, Canada. So we have created 5 options inside the list here. So let's save this file and see in browser. Look at here, user can select any country they want. Okay, so we have another sections, gender sections. The gender sections can be created by using input tag with type radio. So let's do it. So for the captions, just copy this entire field from here and paste here. So there is no requirement of for attribute here. Select gender. So here would be like type radio, name would be like gender, and value would be like male, and here would be for attribute male, caption here. So let's copy this for female radio button. and here would be the female. So we have created gender sections here. Let's see this in browser. Look at here, user can choose either female or male here. So this happens because of we are giving same value for name attribute here. Okay, our next field lets user select the terms and conditions with type checkbox. Okay, so let's copy the input tag from here along with p tag. So here would be like terms of services. So change captions to terms of services, and that would be inside here with type checkbox, and this is terms of services, name would be and ID would be terms of services. Now our final form control is submit button that can be created by using input tag with type type submit. So that can be created by input tag here. So copy, paste, and input type equal to submit, and name would be like submit here. The value would be like submit form. So the submit form would be display as a button text. Okay, so let's see this in browser. Look at here. So this is the form we have just created with checkbox and submit final our form controls. So what we have created here, look at here, this is username field, this is email field, this is password field, this is re-enter password, and this is drop down section, gender sections, and this is our checkbox, and this is our submit button. So we have created here form. So let's brief what we have created. So we are getting username and full name by using input tag with type text. We are getting email by using input tag with type email, and the data would be hidden on using input tag with type password. This drop down section is created by using select an options tag, and this the radio button sections can be created by using input tag with type radio, and this checkbox sections can be created by using input tag with type checkbox, and final form control submit button is created by using input tag with type submit. So that's it for the day, guys. So what we have learned today, let's see here. So form is used to collect the information, query, feedback, and etc. Normal forms are like admission open form for school and college. Web forms are like sign up and sign in form of Gmail. HTML form is made by various controls. Maximum controls are created by using input tags. In our example, input tag has very important attribute, type attribute, which defines the appearance and the behavior of form control. Type, when we say type text, it means it would be represented as a one-line text input field. When we say type radio, which means it would be represented as a type it would be represented as a radio button. There are various input types like password, checkbox, email, submit, and etc. Input has another attribute name. This is used to basically identify particular element and data from submitted form. To create the drop down list, we have used select an options tag. We finally create the submit button to submit the form. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you found my video it's useful, please like my video and subscribe my Glenio channel.